Meeting this morning. So the topic I'm going to talk today is bodhisattvas of the earth. I'm sure those who have been practicing Nichiren Buddhism would have heard of this phrase, bodhisattvas of the earth. But I'm not sure whether everybody knows where it comes from and what does it mean to us. So this is why I'm just sharing some basic knowledge. So in the future, when you see this phrase, you will know what it's all about. Well, to start, it started with Shakyamuni Buddha started to talk about the Lotus Sutra at the Eagle Peak. And as he was talking to a lot of people. And he told his followers that he will eventually pass away. But he warned them that the world would become chaotic, corrupt, and difficult place after he's gone. So the teaching he gave, the Lotus Sutra, would have to be carried on. Hearing this, all the noble bodhisattvas from all of the universe said, we will be the one to propagate. They volunteered to stay behind, protect the teachings, and help the people of this world. But the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, politely said, no, thank you. He said there would be somebody else who will be doing this perfect job. And when the Buddha finished talking, a spectacular event occurred. First of all, the earth split into half. The ground violently shook and cracks open across the entire universe. Out of the empty space deep beneath the earth, an infinite number of small little bodhisattvas float up in the air. Unlike anyone seen before, these new beings are magnificent, elegant, and pure gold in color. They possess the 32 features that characterize a Buddha. And they are led by 4 bodhisattvas: superior practices, boundless practices, pure practices, firmly established practices. And superior practices is the leader of them all. Nichiren Daishonin identified himself as the Bodhisattva superior practices, the leader of the Bodhisattvas of the earth. He also regarded his followers who embrace and propagate the teaching of the mystic law as the Bodhisattvas of the earth. Shakyamuni Buddha delivers the ultimate revelation. These are my original true disciples. I have been teaching them since the remote eternal past. In Soka Gakkai International, SGI, the Bodhisattvas of the earth refer to everyday people dedicated to spreading the ideals of the Lotus Sutra to bring peace and happiness to a troubled world. SGI members view themselves as the Bodhisattvas of the earth, actively working to improve the society. So, all of us who propagate the mystic law, the Lotus Sutra, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, we are, in fact, bodhisattvas of the earth. SGI members believe their mission is to actively engage with the world rather than withdraw from it. By promoting dialogues, building communities, and encouraging those who are suffering practitioners embody this bodhisattva spirit. This collective endeavor is believed to ultimately elevate the life state of humanity and lead to worldwide Kosen Rufu. So now we all know what bodhisattvas of the earth are. They are us. We who practice the mystic law, chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and most importantly, we are responsible to tell everybody, to encourage everybody to practice this law. This is the mission of the bodhisattvas of the earth. So this is why SGI always encourages us to participate in Kosen Rufu, in propagating this practice. This is why we are here. Okay, my next topic is how to strengthen your Buddhist practice. I got this article from a member. Number 1, we have to renew the memory of the heart to open the way for gratitude. We have to be grateful for everything. The member who taught me chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, whenever I'm with her, she always says, "Thank you, Go Hansen. Thank you, Go Hansen." If she found a car space, she said, "Go Hansen. Thank you, Go Hansen." Whatever she comes across, she says, "Thank you, Go Hansen." So this is why I've known her for 20 odd years. She hasn't changed a bit. She's still young and vibrant and still actively taking part in SGI activities and in spreading the law. So this member said, the questions we ask one of them is, do I have clear goals based on what I most want in life? I complain about what I cannot change. But have I done anything to change the situation? Have you chanted to change the situation? Do you believe that you can change the situation? And this is vital. And also, with what hope and longing did I receive the Go Hansen some time ago? Do I have full faith in the immense power of prayer before the Go Hansen? Or do I just do it out of formality? And one more thought. What would my life be like today if I hadn't walked this path of faith from my first encounter until now? If I ask myself, if I hadn't started this practice 20 odd years ago, my life would not be what it is now. I would be miserable, my children will have gone astray, and I will be very unhappy and sick. But after this practice, everything changes for the better and better. Number 2, Daimoku transforms dreams into concrete goals. We all deserve to be happy. May this day not pass without us praying passionately for our most precious dreams. I remember when I was very, very unhappy, every day I chanted that I would be happy every minute, every split second of the day, so I can pass on my happiness to other people. I've been chanting for this, and now I think I've achieved my goal. Another question. Am I determined before the Go Hansen that reality will be as I have wished it, even if it seems impossible today? Do you believe that? Sensei did say, if you are poor, you can chant to be rich. As soon as you chant for your goal, it's like sowing a seed in the soil. Given your effort, watering it, giving it enough fertilizer and so forth, the seed will grow. It will come forth. And then another question. How would I like my life to be in 5 years in every aspect? Actually, when I was working for Pfizer, an international company, they did have a long-range plan and short-range plan. So they did a 5-year plan. How would they like the company to be in 5 years and in 10 years? So maybe we should ask ourselves, what do I want to be? What would I like to be in 5 years? That is to help you set your goal. Actually, when I first started chanting, the member who taught me chanting, she had already overcome all her problems. She was sick, she was not doing well, her parents were sick, and every time she's got some money, she got sick or parents got sick, and she was miserable. Okay, but then later on, she started chanting, and when I met her, the whole situation changed. She was very well off with a good husband, with drivers, with a daughter, and she spent all her time just doing Kosen Rufu. So I said to myself, I wish to be like her, not doing much, not having a job, but spending my time doing Kosen Rufu. And now I've achieved my goal because I wanted to be like her, to spend my time helping people. But it won't, it's like a magic wand. It won't happen immediately. With my effort, with my contribution, with my faith, now I've achieved my goal. So set yourself a goal and work towards it. But remember, you have to take action. It won't fall from the sky. Another question. Am I aware of the treasure I keep in my home and in my heart? Simply by being able to practice this Buddhism. That is, do we treasure the Gohonzen we have at home? Do I have the Gohonzen at home? And if I have the Gohonzen at home, do I chant to it every day and respect it? Another thing is, I was told right from the beginning that we must be wearing tidy clothes and not pajamas when we chant. This is to show respect to the Gohonzen. When you show respect to the Gohonzen, you're showing respect to yourself and to other people. And respect is what everybody wants. And if you respect people, your relationship will change. My next topic is, let us seek our mission. Let us discover it. Let us ask ourselves before the Gohonzen, where my passion resides. We must define it without fail, so that we do not live in regret. And then, let us not think of practice as an obligation. It is the only opportunity we have to transform desires into realities built with our own hands. And this is what I did in the past 20 years. I built everything with my own hands. I practice because I have the right to be happy and live a more dignified life. I practice because I'm tired of resigning myself to what apparently cannot be changed. Nichiren Daishonin said, life is to be enjoyed. Please remember. Let me go on. It is my right, and I will not allow my negative tendencies to hinder me and divert me from the only direct path to true happiness. And this path is to practice Nichiren Buddhism and to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. But when people are in despair, it is difficult to see it this way. So please chant and practice Gongyo and chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo to be a free person. In the Gohonzen, it is written, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo is the greatest joy among all joys. Why? Because worldly joys, like getting a new car, getting a new home, doesn't last long. The joy disappears as time goes by. But if you embrace Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, you will always be happy. This is the treasure of the heart. Now, here the writer says, stand up alone. When the demon of discouragement attacks me, I will read the Human Revolution to reaffirm my conviction, I will begin to believe that I'm stronger than my obstacles. Actually, let me tell you an experience. My daughter, she has got a very, very high profile job, and she and her boss and she wanted to get an office premises, and the human resources person, HR person in the UK, was against my daughter using an agent who was not her friend, but the agent, the friend agent, the HR's friend, the agent, was not able to get the property that they want. So my daughter used another agent to try to obtain the property. But because of my daughter not using the HR's agent, the HR tried to make life so difficult, rejecting every proposals, every terms, everything that the landlord asked. It dragged on for a while until my daughter said to the HR, let's forget it. Let's get somebody somewhere else. And then later on, my daughter said, I think I remember, this is what I told her before. There was a family member who was very, very stubborn, and she won't chant. But when she has a problem, she always came to me and asked me to chant. So one day I think I was frustrated. So I very strongly chanted to the Gohansan. I said, let me see whether she is stronger than my Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. My Nam Myoho Renge Kyo should be much, much stronger than she is. So my daughter remembered what I said, and she always chanted to the Gohansan. She also chanted to Gohansan. She said, let me see if my chanting is stronger than this PR. And then eventually, the owner of the company, the big boss, stepped in, and they signed up for the lease. And the HR did not dare to utter a word. So this is how strong our Daimoku is. Nothing is stronger. But of course, when you chant Daimoku, you don't say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. You have to be very firm. And your faith and your chanting should be very, very strong. Life is too precious, and opportunities stand to stand still and let it slip away. May we never again think that it is not possible. The only measure of our achievements lie in my ability to set goals, practice to achieve them, and work to make them a reality. In the depths of life, we are all friends in pursuit of happiness. We have to encourage one another without envy. Let us be truly happy without fail, without letting ourselves be intimidated by any obstacles. Don't run away from it. Face it and try to solve it and overcome it. As people of I cannot pronounce it, magnanimous heart, we will not allow anyone to be defeated along the way of practice. So now I'm going to talk about in rhythm with the universe. When we do Gongyo, recite portions of the Lotus Sutra and chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo before the Gohansan, the microcosm of our individual lives harmonizes seamlessly with the macrocosm of the universe. It is a sublime ceremony, an action through which we fully open the storehouse of the treasures within. We can thereby tap into the wellspring of life force in the depth of our own beings. We can access the source of inexhaustible wisdom, compassion, and courage. Well, it's very wordy, isn't it? Well, to cut this short, We are part of the universe. All right, whatever the universe has, we have in our own body. But the whole universe has a rhythm. And if we follow this rhythm by chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, then you can bring forth your own power in yourself, which is wisdom, compassion, courage. This is what we call Buddhahood. In the universe is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Our life is also Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And the Gohonzen is an embodiment of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Since all three are Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, they are essentially one and indivisible. Therefore, when we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, our life and the universe are aligned around the Gohonzen, meshing together perfectly like mechanisms in a machine. And we begin to move in the direction of happiness and fulfillment. As I've said many, many times, if we follow the rhythm of the universe, we will always do the right thing at the right time, like sowing seeds in the spring and fertilize and water in the summer. Then you will have good harvest in the autumn, and you yourself and the earth will rest. So if you follow this rhythm, you are sure, discounting what is the global warming effect, discounting all that. This is human error. Then you are bound to have good harvest. If you wear clothes in the winter, you are sure to keep warm. Otherwise, if you go out with a thin t-shirt when it is snowing or when it's 0 degrees, you are bound to get sick. So because you are not in rhythm with the universe. We can be in rhythm with the universe 365 days a year, in spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and manifest a life force, wisdom, and good fortune that help us surmount any problem or suffering. When we bring forth the powerful engine of life force, which is Buddhahood, we can break through any obstacles and keep moving forward, steering ourselves in the direction of hope and justice. And we have to make courses in every moment. Life can feel like one thing after another happening to us. Not good things, dilemmas, difficult people, disappointments. Some might call it karma, referring to it as negative effects from past actions. But labeling our problems as karma doesn't help us change anything. Nichiren Buddhism offers a radical perspective. Instead of seeing karma as an unalterable fate, we can discover the power in each moment to redirect our future. Through chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, we tap into the deepest level of life, transforming our inner state and our behavior, and as a result, our circumstances. Well, to cut short, these articles are very wordy, but I always like to say simple things. So instead of theory, we're talking about life. So what it means is, when we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, our life condition will be elevated. We are at a higher level, and we can see what is bothering us, what is making us not happy, what is preventing us from going forward. We can see our shortness, our weaknesses, and then we can change. We often think cause and effect unfold separately. Cause now, effect later. Nichiren Buddhism, however, teaches they occur at the same moment A shift in our heart now contains the seed of a wonderful future. Just as a small seed already holds the potential of a great tree. I remember telling everybody about a movie I saw about a husband and a wife who lost 3 children, and the wife was so desperate that she committed suicide and she was in hell. And the husband wanted to save the wife, and he talked to the angel, said, I want to save my wife. I want to go down to hell to help her. And the angel said, you've got only 3 minutes. If you cannot save her, then you yourself will be in hell forever. I think this actor is called Robin Williams. So he went down to hell and he saw the wife losing her mind, dazing in front of her, not knowing anything. And Robin William tried to talk to her and wake her up. But then he failed. Time was running short. So suddenly he remembered a scene wherein he and his wife was having a good time in a very, very nice forest with flowers and trees and brilliant sunshine. So Robin Williams tried to describe this scene to the wife, and it immediately woke her up, and they both went to heaven. I mean, he elevated the wife from hell. So this is why there is a saying that with one thought, you're in heaven, and with another thought, you could be in hell. This is what our Buddhism teaching is, Ichinen Sensen. It all depends on your single thought. So please, try to have positive thoughts to overcome your negativities or negative thoughts. Moving from fear to courage, from resignation to hope, immediately influences our relationships, how we respond to opportunities, and even our health. This is how we turn poison into medicine, or hardships into fuel for growth. Once we decide and chant to make a change, a new path forward begins to open before us. Now, again, let me quote another incident as to how chanting can change our relationships. A long, long time ago, I had my interior design business, and I invited my sister to join me, and we had a lot of arguments. Maybe I was very impatient with her, maybe she was very stubborn, I don't know, but it didn't work. So one day, I asked her to have lunch with me, and I was going to call the quits. I wanted her to leave my company. So in the morning, as I was driving, I was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and suddenly a thought came to my mind. The thought was, if I'm not happy with her, she must be not happy with me also. And being the owner, if I make her unhappy, then I have to do something to change. So immediately, when I saw her at lunch, the first thing I said to her is, I'm sorry. I made you unhappy. And then immediately changes everything. And she also acknowledges her shortcomings, and our relationship changes. Nichiren Buddhism often cites this sutra passage. If you want to understand the causes and that exists in the past, look at the results at the present. And if you want to understand what your future will be, look at the causes that exist in the present. Instead of dwelling on the past or future, this shifts the focus to this moment. We are never stuck. We shape the future we envision through the actions and determinations we make right now. The present, not the past. You don't have the past, it's gone. You don't have the future, it hasn't come. You have got the present. which is a gift. If you do the right thing, you treasure your present, then your future will be good. We all fall into patterns, same old mistakes, same troubled relationships, bad habits. Well, you can see it as karma. In the sense, it is the track of our life follows our repeated behavior. But we can break this cycle right now. Chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is itself the strongest cause we can make. Instead of reacting with irritation, avoidance, self-doubt, or other negative tendencies, we can readily summon our courage, compassion, and wisdom. Taking part in SGI activities for our own and others' happiness accelerates this inner shift. Even if we don't see results immediately, change is already underway. From wishing to doing. People who begin practicing Nichiren Buddhism often describe a shift from fear to confidence, from hesitation to action. Chanting summons the wisdom and life force to act. Sensei says, no banner of victory adorns a life of inaction. No banner of happiness will fly where faith is not accompanied by action. Here, he emphasizes the importance of action. I said many times, a lot of members just say, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and hope everything will change. And I call it superstition. It's no different than you go to the temple and pray to the Buddhas and ask them to give you things. So this is superstition. Whatever we want in our life, we have to do something to achieve it. For instance, if you want to be a manager, you have to go and get the qualifications to be a manager. You have to study the subjects that will enable you to carry out the responsibilities of the manager. You have to do something. You don't just sit there and hope the role of the manager will fall into your lap. It doesn't happen this way. This is superstitious. So this is why, actually, I tell you, Nichiren Buddhism is not an easy Buddhism practice. A lot of people break away from this practice. You know why? Because this Buddhism asks us to take effort to do things to achieve our goals. It won't fall from the sky. Unlike other religions, you just go in there and pray and hope that things will happen in front of you. So this is why a lot of members just break away, because they don't want to take actions. They want an easy life. Actually, there is a couple of members in Australia. Initially, they started practicing and they were very passionate. Every weekend, they have meetings in their home, and I attended their meetings. But then I lost contact with them, and I was told that they changed into other religion. They went to church. I think it's because it's difficult to take action and to do things to help yourself. So they went to church and pray, hoping things will happen. And then eventually, I'm not exaggerating, the husband died from cancer. I don't know why, but this is what happened. I'm not belittling other religion. No, this is not it. I'm just saying that whatever we want in life, we have to achieve with our own hands. And Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is to help us achieve our goal with our own hands, taking action at the same time, and meeting the right people. This is why we call it good luck. Happiness doesn't happen by accident. Our goals come to fruition when we chant, make clear determinations to take steps towards our growth and to support the happiness of others. At a time when many people feel stuck or hopeless, we can help them set their lives on a new course. This is why we are asked to encourage people. I have been talking to a lot of members who feel stuck. So I use my experiences and other people's experiences and my learning in Buddhism to encourage them, to make them feel light, L-I-G-H-T, to go forward. So let's not hesitate to share our experiences of this practice with other people so other people can enjoy this benefit. Now I'm going to share with you an experience. A member in Canada, I think. So let me start. Since I started practicing Nichiren Buddhism 9 years ago, I quickly realized that taking charge of my happiness was something I wanted to achieve. I wasn't quite sure how things would all come together, but one thing I knew for certain: with Buddhist practice, a combination of discipline, hard work, and determination would create a mixture called happiness. Let me repeat. A combination of discipline, hard work, and determination would create a mixture called happiness. This member says, my journey toward happiness started in Paris when a cast member of a show I was performing in was chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo backstage. There was something about the sound and vibration that connected with my life, and I wanted more. I came back from Europe, moved to Vancouver, and received my Gohansen there. As soon as I started to chant, everything started to move rapidly in the right direction. The more I chanted, the more I became clearer with my mission in life. Buying a house in my 20s and traveling the world with my career as a dancer, singer, actor was something I had already achieved before encountering Buddhism, and for which I'm grateful every day. Yet, the more I learned about this practice and the true power of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, the more I understood that you can fulfill your mission and be truly happy if you practice correctly. Buddhism has given me a whole new perspective and how much I can accomplish with my life and solely achieving relative happiness. My absolute happiness is now what matters the most. President Ikeda became dear to my heart when I understood what he had accomplished in his life and what, even after his death, is still achieving. There were days when I would chant and think to myself, who are you? What do you actually want to do with yourself in this lifetime? Without hesitation, I continued to deepen my practice and trust the teachings of Nichiren Buddhism. The combination of taking action and chanting changed my life so much that it started to accelerate in the direction where faith, practice, and study in this philosophy would change the entire scope of my future. I started to change. My environment also started to shift and change. This is what our Buddhism theory calls oneness of self and the environment. One of my biggest challenges in life has been fear of failure and not wanting to make mistakes. Now, this is a common fear that everybody has. The more I want to achieve, the more fear would represent itself. The deeper I got into the course of my fears, the more I needed to overcome the false expectations that prevented me from savoring the benefits that life had to offer. Buddhism is a choice between winning and losing, and I needed to prove the validity of this practice by winning in all these areas. Years later, I worked on 8 commercials, wrote and directed my first concert, changed my karmic relationship with my father, worked alongside naturopaths and doctors to maintain my health, and starting building a new live show for a casino in Ontario. This past December, I started visiting schools to empower troubled youth and developing relationship with people on different school boards. The more I listen to youth, the more I understand how much SGI members are needed in today's society. To gain such rich knowledge and not do anything that it would be a shame, Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism teaches us that our soul happiness is not the only thing that matters. Once you start to experience joy, you can share it with others and make this world a better place. One person can truly make a difference. So all this is to say that it doesn't just come from luck and things falling from the sky. This is what I keep saying. It's not a magic wand. But with hard work and human revolution, we develop in this practice. We can win. To win, you must first need to believe that you are a winner and receive the great gifts that life has to offer. There is no time to ponder, reconsider, or question whether you can do it. You just say, I can do it. This is what I have been doing all the time. I tell myself, I can do it. If I want to, I can do it. So when chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you can do anything. Make the impossible possible is embedded in this practice. This is all I have to share today.